Hey guys, Ray from Love You RV. I thought I'd show you a little some tips and tricks I do to get some water into my RV when I'm dry camping. So I'm at a state park in California, and they happen to have some water spigots a couple hundred yards away, and I'm going to utilize something called a water bladder. This is a 30-gallon water bladder. It's made out of I think it's like a waterbed material, very, very strong. And to fill it up, I'm going to use my normal hose. But I also have actually just picked this one up. It's a water meter. I had a different one that was made by Rainwave, I believe. But this one's a little nicer unit, a little more expensive. But it'll tell me how many gallons flow in, because this is a 30-gallon water bladder, so I don't want to overfill it. And then on the end I have what's called a Water Bandit, because the spigot here is one of those spigots you kind of have to hold on, but it has no threads at all. So this thing will go onto the spigot and allow me to draw water out of it. Now, I showed you a couple months ago when we were in a BC provincial park, I showed you how I could take a jug of water, 5-gallon jug of water, and using a siphon hose easily go get the water and put it in the rig. But this tap's quite far away, and the water here is not nearly as good. So I'm also going to use this to run it through my filtration system. I'll show you that when we get back. So anyway, let's go grab the water. Okay, so I got that on there. I'm going to have to hold that on or it's going to push off. Got my meter there so I know when it hits 30 gallons. And then we got it hooked up in the bed of the truck here. Okay, 30 gallons. You can see why I needed that. Got no threads on that, but it worked good. Leaked a tiny little bit. Okay, here's the setup. So back the truck close to the end of the rig. I actually filled it up backwards. Guess I'm out of practice. It's been quite a while since I've used this, because we weren't down here last winter. Anyway, it still should work. The pump will suck the water out of that. I'm just using this little power station to power it. In the future, I'm going to add one of these power pole connectors to the pump, and then I can just plug it into the side here. I got 12 volts right there. That's where my DC to DC charger plugs in, so that'll be a little more convenient than dragging out the box. But anyway, this will work today. There we go, pumps on, sucking water. Go through that, and then it goes into my 3-stage filter system. Got a sediment filter, 0.5 micron filter, and then a 0.1 micron filter. Comes out of that and gets into my gravity feed tank here. So it shouldn't take too long to drain that. Okay, this is actually how the bag is supposed to be laid out, with this sticking up top, so to fill it through that, and then it gets drained through the bottom here. Once it gets down to the end, it'll suck all the water right out. I usually start to do this near the end. Yeah, that sucks all the water right out of it. If I was going to store this for a while or disinfect it, I'd put a little bit of bleach water in there just to kill anything, but we're going to be using this a lot now, so just put her away. That's the best part of this thing. 30 gallons. You can buy dedicated water transfer pumps, but what I did is I just repurposed the water pump that was in our RV that the OEM had installed, this flow jet here. And it's just a 3-chamber type pump, so I thought it was quite noisy. It sounded like a machine gun going off when it was running in there. So I put in a 4-chamber SureFlow, and then I had this as a spare. So I keep it for transferring water. Also, it's good as a good backup just in case my main pump in the rig fails. And like I say, I just added a connector so it would fit to my power box. And my plan is to make a connector for the 12 volt port I have on the back of the tailgate here. Some people will actually use their tow cable connector because there is a 12 volt source in there as well. There we go, 83% on the water tank. Went from 33% to 83%. So it's a 60-gallon water tank. I'm able to add water because I actually have nearly 120 gallons of waste tank capacity. I have 2 gray tanks and a black tank, all 40 gallons each. Well, there you go. That's how I get water into my rig from a spigot way down there that doesn't have any threads on it, and get it into my tank and through my filters. Now inside the RV I have another filter and a UV purifier so we can drink right out of our tank. Till next time, Ray from Love You RV. Cheers, everyone.